Tanya and I went out together, so we definitely had a very interesting and inspiring, encouraging experience. But maybe some of you would like to share first what you experienced at Grand Central.
The pictures looked amazing. Hatsuru
Yeah.
looked like he must have distributed about 120 books out there.
I was in awe of all the other devotees distributing the books, especially Mother Divyangi.
Would you like to start, Mother Divyangi?
It was a very nice experience. I'm very glad we made it, actually. I didn't believe it, but thank you all so much for sacrificing your time and effort to come. And yeah, it was very nice.
Can you describe one experience you had that really touched you? One interaction with somebody.
Maybe somebody else can share. I can focus my mind right now.
Hard to eat and talk at the same time.
I guess I could start and share some of the things that we went through. So we had a, I think you've already maybe seen photographs of the signs on the table that we have.
First of all, everybody, Kostuba Prabhu was the one who designed all the signs, so please express your appreciation to him because everybody knew there were books on yoga and meditation because he designed them.
Color, but
So we went to the West 4th Street subway station to start. We didn't really know what to expect or how it was going to work, and because the way that it's designed, we had to go like right on the platform, like right on the subway platform. And we found a little spot to set up, and I think an important realization, like, you know, what I really wanted to get out of today as much as possible is just like for Krishna to help us understand like how these book tables might really function in New York. Jyoti Tanya's had tremendous success in California, but it's definitely two different worlds a bit, so it's you know, it's expected that there might have to be some kind of adjustment or thought put into how it works. And for a bit, you know, Jyoti Tanya was standing behind the table, and not too many people were really coming up, but then he revealed, you know, there's two ways that you can work. One is like a hawk, and another way is like the spider. So the hawk, you know, it finds its prey and then it goes after it. The spider sets the web up, steps back, and then lets it prey walk into the web. So he tried that, and there's a bit of a success there, but we didn't stay. It was kind of dirty and loud on that platform, so we didn't feel like this was the best spot. We didn't have a lot of time. We had about an hour left or something. We said, well, we'll just jump on the A train, go down to World Trade Center, which is a much cleaner, newer kind of setup. So we jumped on the train, we headed down there, and we spent about a half hour there. And we set up the table and stepped back from it, and one by one, people started, basically, it wasn't like tons of people coming up to it, but everyone that came up to it was interested. Like you were mentioning this morning, it kind of filters out the people that aren't interested. And anybody that went up there, they all gave a donation, they all took books. So I'll let him tell you more about those individual experiences, but Veer and I were mostly just watching. But we saw in about 20 to 25 minutes, he distributed about 10 books and collected about like $37 or something like that. So it was, and as we were watching, we were realizing that, you know, we printed out these signs in a relatively inexpensive way because we wanted to experiment and see what would work. But we were also thinking, you know, maybe just saying yoga meditation books isn't the most strongest thing to draw someone there. Like maybe there's other creative ideas that like people would want to come there, not just to get a book, but to get advice on like how to meditate or to get some kind of spiritual music or to get whatever. And maybe there's ways that we can attract people just to this kind of spiritual station. And then when they come, they're going to buy something and they're going to give something and they're going to walk away with a book or two. So we're just starting to think about how that might work and how we might be able to make it very easy for people that aren't even necessarily experienced book distributors for people to come and start to inquire, to give something and then to give them some books. but maybe Judge Chaitanya could share about your thoughts and your
Yeah,
experiences.
well, before I speak, I want Mira to say something too. So.
Yeah, I was just so happy to witness. Really, I was going out to witness more than anything, and start to kind of see how he's connecting with people. And it's very similar to how I connect with people also. So it was very encouraging, and just I think Judge Chaitanya has a very gentle and thoughtful kind of nature, and so each person that did come up, he just struck up a conversation with them, and oftentimes like Vaisheshika Guru says, like the end result is that somebody just has a good experience. You could just see people were so happy connecting, and where the conversations were going, and kind of just by default they took some literature home, they took an invitation home, something like that. And so just appreciating the Spider-Man, the Spider-Man book distributor, and getting everyone wrapped in the web of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. And
Spider-Man's from New York, right?
yeah.
Peter Parker.
City.
So just very appreciative. Just I was even seeing it so nice. We were walking around with this big table and kind of lugging stuff around. People were opening the door for us. And people, just seeing like even those little gestures. Actually, they're participating in Sankirtan and
That's a pretty.
getting secret. Yeah. So looking forward to making it a regular thing. With the Judge Chaitanya Guru and other devotees that are inspired to do like that. So.
Yeah, there's this saying in our literature. It's called Prema Sankirtan. Have you guys heard this before? Prema Sankirtan? So what does that mean? Like, how can we experience that Prema Sankirtan? I like the example where...
It's happening right up there. Right behind it.
Oh yeah, it's extended. The example where you go to some grihasta's home for prasadam, and they give you a plate of prasadam, and you're eating it, and then you finish, and then they come over immediately, and they're like, please, take more, and you want more, but you don't say it. You're like, no, I'm okay. They're like, no, come on, take. I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm like, no, come on, take. Oh, like, oh, okay, I'll take. And then it's like this love exchange, right? This prema sankirtan. So you actually experience that at an ultimate degree, if we can encapsulate that on book distribution, where somebody gives, you have this nice conversation, and then they give a donation. I'm like, oh, thank you. Here, take this book too. And they're like, no. No, I'm like, no, I want you to have it. Like, no, take it. And then they give a donation. They give even more of a donation. And I actually say no to the donation. Like, no, you don't have to give that. This was just a gift. They're like, no, take, please take. And all of a sudden there's this real love exchange on book distribution, Prema Sankirtan. So I was experiencing a bit of that today. And if we can just create that mood more and more, I think we really represent Srila Prabhupada to the highest degree, and that's the goal. So, yeah. Thanks for having me today. Ecstatic.
I can share a little bit. So when we got to Grand Central, it was amazing. First of all, Kishore Irani, the way that she organized everything was just really so first class. There wasn't anything that was missing, and she was just on top of everything. So as soon as the book table was set up, it was so attractive. The sign, it was black tablecloths. It looked super professional, and then the devotees sat themselves down like nice, like orderly, and then Mataji here was singing. It was so beautiful, and then Kishore Irani and some of the girls, were dancing really, really gracefully, and it was amazing how many people were just stopped because of the kirtan and because of the dancing, and were taking videos of that. They just loved it so much. And then there were also lollipops and cookies that were being handed out. And it's amazing that just, something that's a little bit maybe more tangible and easier for the hand to grasp than maybe a book, Would you like a lollipop? And immediately somebody stops. right, smiles, and then there's an opportunity to have an exchange of like, hi, where are you from? I'm from here, and then to show a book, and because of that, there was some. It was amazing to watch Hansarupa Prabhu, Divyangi, Sarah, and like all of the devotees. Everybody had a part to play, and I know that's one of the things that Vaisheshika Prabhu really encourages so much. That book distribution doesn't mean you're just actively distributing a book. There's a part for every single devotee to play. And so there were devotees like yourself who were driving and bringing everything there, and the devotees who cooked, and the devotees who cleaned, and you know, handing out lollipops, who baked the cookies, you know, who set up the tables. It was amazing to just see everybody had a part to play. And that was so satisfying. And then on a personal level, I had a couple of nice interactions, but one was really special. There was this Indian girl who actually came up to the table with her like Mexican boyfriend, and I was just interacting with her. Hi, what's your name? And then she said, yeah, I actually, like, I go to the Krishna temple. I said, oh, how wonderful. And she was looking through all the books, and you could just see in her eye as she was looking through the book rack that she really wanted to take a book. And her eyes fell on the Ishopanishad. Of all books, the Ishopanishad. And she said, I want to take 2 of these. You know, and she gave one to her boyfriend, and she said, Krishna has been following me today. I wanted to go to the temple, and I wasn't able to. And so he's been following me. Thank you so much for being here. And so that was really, really powerful. So thank you, all of you, you know, for all of your efforts. It's, you know, Vaisheshika Prabhu says this during reflection time, you know, this has been noted, you know, it can never be erased, the efforts that you've done, and during this month of Karthik, what to speak of. So thank you. Thank you for continuing, and thank you for J. Chaitanya Prabhu, you know, your enthusiasm for book distribution was just so palpable. And I think such a nice reminder for everyone, no matter what, leave everybody with a good impression. And I think that's what happened today on both sides. So thank you. Would you like to share something? No. She was like, I did my part. I let her done.
But your realizations were really nice.
Please, Kishore.
I was impressed today, and I really, really grateful to everyone because, like, last probably, I don't know, 2 weeks or maybe months, it's like in my head that, like, it's a saying from Prabhupada, so you will show your love by cooperation. And today was like, I'm really grateful to every one of you, especially my beloved Russian son. I'm sorry. But I feel so much support from you that you came and helped so much. I'm grateful so much to every one of you, and I think it was amazing. And also, like, for you helping us, and for Sari coming up, for everyone who came and supported us. And it doesn't really matter, like, the weather or how many books. I don't even know how many books because I wasn't distributing them. I was the one who danced. But this feeling that we did it together, it was really amazing. It's something that really opens the heart. Thank you. Without you, it's impossible. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I was really worrying about the weather, but you know, whenever some serious plans to do something for Krishna's pleasure, Krishna Prabhupada's pleasure, and there is, if there is some impediments, there are some impediments like the bad weather. It always indicates that there is some really good reward is coming. So I'm happy that regardless the weather conditions, we still made it, and it was really ecstatic, very joyful, very enlivening, and besides that we are in the beginning of Kartik month. So this is something like really good, you know, to do something like, to do some active services to help Srila Prabhupada in his mission. And from practical viewpoint also, I really like the way how they do Harinam, dance and Harinam is book distribution. I think that's a good match. It's really attractive. Ultimately, people have to understand that you know, it has some message, but it has also some culture aspects, so they can see that we are all joyful and they can appreciate the mood of devotees. Yeah, so I'm very happy. I feel like when such wonderful festivals or events happen, I feel like there is something which is going to be written somewhere in Akash, in the whole universe for eternity. So there is something which will remain forever, like in my personal life and as well as in others. So I feel like this day is completely, you know, fulfilled properly. Yeah, I'm very grateful to everyone, and I'm happy that I found myself to be there. It's you know, it brings all the waves of memories from the past when I was a brahmachari and doing books every day. It's a very sweet day. Thank you all.
Good to
My
hear.
turn? Well, as Kashi Prabhu was just speaking, I was recognizing that the reason I was attracted was to be in the association of devotees. The idea of a festival, and when we put out the flyers by email, there's the one we sent out to one of the photos, which was the background to the by Shesha Kaburu. He's sitting there and he's got the mic, and some people are standing, some people are distributing. So there's kirtan, just what we were doing today. There's the kirtan, there's the dancing, there's the book distribution. So it's a mini festival, not just one activity. And all the devotees are enjoying the different mellows of each activity, but at the same time all under the umbrella of this Sankirtan mellow. So it was very nice, and the energy was there. So I very much appreciated that. And I wanted to tell one funny story about Brigupati Guru, when we used to go on book distribution back in the old days. Since Prabhu mentioned him in the morning, Brigupati had just gotten second initiation. So we were out, and in those days we didn't have a fleet of cars or anything, and one devotee would just drop you off, and you were at in this place. At that time there was only one mall in New York City. It was in Staten Island. The only other mall was in Woodbridge, New Jersey. So I can't remember if we were in Staten Island or Woodbridge, New Jersey, but we were dropped off there, and you dropped off with a few cases of books in the morning, and they'd come back late at night and they'd pick you up. So during the day, the standard was you have to eat something. So go into the grocery store. So Brigupati had just gotten Brahmin initiation. So he got this idea from the other older devotees. We had learned this is all Sankirtan now. This is not to be taken, this is not part of the pancha or tricky or anything like that. But some of the older devotees would come out of the store, even while they were in the store shopping, they would put a BTG in the grocery bag, and anything they put in, they would be considered offered. So that was that system. So Brigupati wanted to do it one thing better. So we got back, we came out of the store, and we sat down to chant our Gayatri. And he got the idea that I'm just going to offer everything in the store. And I said, well, you can't do that. I said, there's other things in there that are not offerable. He said, no, I'm only thinking of the things that are offerable. And that was his attempt. He said his Gayatri, and he said, now it's all offered. So that, you're thinking that this is the brand new Brahmana. How much potency he's thinking that we have just by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So that's just a small Sankirtan Lula. There's many like that when you're out there alone and doing these works. And it's when you're together doing these things, you form a strong bond. So this is another aspect of the festival, is that when you're out together, you're like family. I mean, we are family, but sometimes we don't remember, we're all doing different things. But when we come together to do this particular thing, it's a very strong connection, stronger than most other connections. I mean, washing the pots, even though you could be next to it's not the same connection. Cleaning the floor, mopping the floor, it's really not the same connection. Even on the altar, dressing the deities side by side. It's not the same connection. You only get that connection doing Sankirtan, doing book distribution, doing Harinam. Then you feel this bond. And that bond lasts your entire Krishna conscious lifetime. You'll always be friends with those devotees. I mean, there could be a few exceptions, but for the most part, the devotees I used to go on Harinam Sankirtan with, we were friends until we all started dying. But that's, but it's such a sweet thing to have someone and remember what you were doing, 40 years ago or 45 years ago. I said, do you remember when we were there? Yes, this is a very special thing. So I pray that everyone has this opportunity for the next 40 years. And maybe we should have Sankirtan reunions again so nobody forgets. We'll have to have a 40th, well, I won't be here, but you can have a 40th reunion. Anything else? Any other service? Thank you, Boo, for coming and sharing.
Actually, my my biggest realization is about cooperation. But the Mataji and Prabhu, they told about us about this, and I just remembering the Srila Prabhupada instruction that he will see our love as we cooperate. So, and that was the biggest inspiration for me to see like how's everybody doing own service, like but we're doing it together. That's what I'm grateful for this experience that we can do it together.
For me, it was very inspirational to see that all of us were really joyful. Not like we're under some pressure or whatever. Like at one point when we started the kirtan and when we started book distribution, it was such a kind of adjustment to the situation. And then I found myself joyful doing kirtan, and I found the girls, Mataji's dancing really joyfully. They really enjoying themselves, and everybody around felt that mood of joy and happiness, and that's that's very important for us ourselves to feel this happiness inside our circle of devotees, that we can share this happiness with others. Only happiness can attract other people to our whatever we do with Sankirtan. So I'm so really grateful for everyone for this wonderful experiences. Like somebody in the lecture on this on Second Avenue told that we're gonna remember these days like the good old days, like the devotees, all the devotees, like Ansarupa Prabhu and his generation were doing the pioneering in the ISKCON movement, and we are like trying to keep up with them, with those good old days. Like in a couple of years, 10, 20 years, we're gonna be remembering these days. Like this is for most of us. This is like first experiences like this. For me myself, I was doing some Harinam, but it was nothing like this. It's something incredible. Thank you so much for everyone.
Highlight of my day when I got a Gajit chair and told me, this is life. It's like, I'm so excited, like, this is real life.
Yeah, it is.
It looks like I barely missed it. Today I did it in Oslo. It was like same wonderful experience. Devotees sat in front of the Norway Parliament, and they do every day. I went one day, and they do Sankirtan, even distribute books to the politicians. One of the politicians actually took a book, I don't remember, he's in finance head or something. And then in London for the Rath Yatra we went the Sankirtan, London Bridge, and distributed books. And if I had known yesterday I would have come. I just dropped into the first time to this Prabhupada's matchless gift shop, and glad to hear about the book distribution. I don't know if we have it tomorrow or not. I would come.
Next month.
Next month. Next time I'll make sure that I come at the right time. Thank you everyone.
it's a good idea, maybe better advertise this event or something like that. Probably not everyone knows, or we could just adjust our ways to advertise the event so more people could join. But anyways, there's pretty big crowd for this kind of event, right?
It was a really nice day. I was trying to keep in my mind the whole time Vaisheshika Maharaj's idea that everyone should leave with a good impression of the devotees. So with that in mind, in general, the few times that I've distributed books, maybe only 4 or 5 times or so, I've tried really hard to try and make a connection with people, and it's been really nice. I was really afraid of it at first because I'm shy, but yeah, it was really nice to just be out there and talking to people. It's really nice to have Harinam there. Be able to like show some of our culture.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you to everyone.
Anybody else like to share?
So yeah, first people actually who I met, they stopped just see how much I do the dancing, and I approached the first person. They were from, I can't remember from, someone from Europe, and then this is what is it about? What are you doing here? And actually I realized how important to make this personal connection, because sometimes with Harinam, I do it every day, and it's really hard, especially in subway. But it's important. It's like we have to choose the right fruit. And this was the biggest realization today. Yeah, that even sometimes you don't feel like my personal connection, you just have to do it. It's kind of a stereotype for me. I'm not like, I really beg to go along with people. I don't have many friends, and even when I ask them for a name, like my mind tells me, why are you asking for the name? You just give them book, and that's it. You never see him again. But I do it on purpose, like, okay, I remember, and I used what you said, the mantra, I repeated their name all over again. And actually they ended up to give me like $20 donation for 2 books. It was very nice. And usually when people have like $100, they can, I don't have money. But then he gave me actually, okay, give me like $80. I'm like, wow, okay. That's nice.
You didn't do the change up on it? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I joked, I said, okay, how much you want to back? 20?
Yeah.
And he said,
The pictures were so wonderful. Yeah, seeing such a Kishore Rani and Kisheshwar Bhavana, just to give them another shout out, seeing how incredible building community in New York City with the Russian Sangha, and just ready to serve and to organize. There's so much devotion. You see, everyone's always so successful with that intention. You were speaking about it in your class earlier. The intention is just to serve. You want to bring the devotees together. You want to please the devotees and please the Lord. And you can see for sure the little glimpses. I was like looking for the 4 or 5 train, see how we can get up and come dance with you guys. It was really, really special. And we give them a shout out.
One thing I noticed about our spot is that people are really rushing because it's between 2. It's a shuttle, it's a tunnel.
They're moving between.
So you have to be the hawk.
Yeah.
So if you're not good at being a hawk.
You got some wings popping out of your head.
Right. So, but we saw that there was these 2 performers, one small boy, and they had a spot where everybody comes through the turnstile. They were right there, and everybody goes to that location to either go out, or they're coming in, or to go down or up. So you have an immediate crowd. There's 50, 60 people standing around watching. And it stayed like that the whole entire time that they were there. And meanwhile, people are just walking by us, back and forth. I don't know about that spot. I don't know, maybe they have
They get permission to use it. Part of the
permission to get that
musical
spot.
thing, but devotees could do their music there too. I think you have to.
It wasn't even music. I mean, they were just playing pre-recorded music and doing some some moves.
Breakdancing.
So I mean, if there's a way for us to get those spots,
You have to represent your whatever you do.
There's some process to
Yeah,
it.
there's a process to do that.
I mean, these two street performers, what kind of process do you think they went through? What organization do they represent? I'm just wondering. I mean, it seems like they were just impromptu, on the spot.
I think artists can present what they do. And get
Okay.
permission to do something like that.
There's some permission, yeah.
So we have
should
to
look into it.
figure out what we want to present. I mean, besides.
Because there's ideal, like you're saying, there's ideal locations, and then there's like these transitory
Ideal.
places where if you're not a hawk,
No,
you know,
you-
one or two people will
they're
stop.
moving.
but-
I mean, they're moving. These people are moving.
It was a good spot that we found, also in the World Trade Center, where people were coming into a shopping mall.
Yes.
And even though it's very transitory still, it's still not even that ideal, but
At least
because
it's one place
yeah,
they're going.
and they're going in, so we set it up so that
There's some
when they're
space so you didn't feel cramped.
yeah.
Right.
And it was clean.
Yeah,
Just
that's
a little
really,
things
really
like that, just
like
make
good
the
idea
mind a
to
little
have
bit
a
like-
nice clean place.
Yeah.
Because we are representing something really upscale,
Right.
you know.
The lighting was much nicer
Yeah,
also.
yeah,
It just-
lighting,
I think just people in their mind when they're in a place that's dingy, or they're just like, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
It opens up a little bit. People are a little bit more, wasn't noisy, so you could speak with people. It worked.
I also wanted to give a shout out to Vrindavan Vinodini, Divyangi, also different devotees. They're like little hawks. They're swooping in last minute coordination and organization. It's amazing, actually. We did last month. We inaugurated a monthly Sankirtan festival, and then devotees kind of banded. Hansarupa Prabhu storing all the books. So many books have come, and so much resources that we're able to keep there in McDougal Street. Prasad from Brooklyn. It's such a beautiful collaborative experience. One of probably the most collaborative experience I think in New York in a long, long time.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
And it's on the second one.
In the phone call, Varshesh Prabhu had a phone call with myself, Vrindavan, Divyangi, Sarah. I think that was it. And it was kind of a little bit late. It's like, oh yeah, well, the month's going to pass away. Do we have a plan for this month? And through the course of the conversation, we decided that this month, let's make it more about quality than quantity. Because if this is something that's going to go on and on for years and years, then it's not necessarily so important the exact number of people that we have here, but that we start to work together, and that Krishna begin. We try to please Krishna, and we pray to Krishna to reveal how can we reach people in this city. And I think this dancing and the whole thing is absolutely fantastic. It's like, there's no way that anyone can walk past that and not be like, this is beautiful. Not some level of you really have to be like a very dark person to not like say, oh, okay, this is nice.
And flower garlands on.
Yeah.
So many people heard the holy name.
So there's that, and the distribution, the Harinam is going on with it, and then we were doing our thing and just kind of figuring out like, just trying to fine tune it and see what does it take to like, for a person to just say, I'm interested in that. And so that quality, I feel like this was a good day for that. It was this month was a success for that, and we can experiment. I know we plan on experimenting, before we get together next time, and I think we can all just kind of stir up that inspiration that we have from this day. And what we're doing here might in the future just be manifested in the kind of thing that's like out on the streets every day with, maybe there's many kind of these book tables, and maybe every day there's beautiful Harinama, beautiful dancing going on in different places, and it can just increase and increase. So maybe that's what we're doing here, is we're just kind of like planting the seed and seeing how it can expand.
I wanted to share also one story. Guru Maharaj likes to tell his guest Varshesh Prabhu that when they just inaugurated this in San Francisco, devotees were after like first or second month, they were so excited, like, oh wow, let's do it every week, every 2 weeks. And then Maharaj said, no, let's do it every month. And then after a couple months, they're like, oh, it's so hard. Maybe we can do it every 3 months. And they said, no, let's do it every month. So yeah, we're so excited, but just keep it at least once a month if somebody wants to do it more.
very important to make personal connection, like with the people you're trying to share our culture. But I think it's very important to make personal connection with the devotees, because Prabhu, as you say, that Russian Sangha is very like dedicated to service and ready to do devotion. And you know, at that moment I was remembering my mood in the morning, so I don't feel no power, I don't want to go anywhere, and like I have my circumstance, and like everything is just giving a pressure on me. But today, yeah. But because I have a friend, really like close relationship with the devotees, I know they're waiting for me. Like for example, if you really love somebody, you can sacrifice your mood for them. You can just come and support. At the end, I feel much more happier than I felt in the morning. So everything that I was worried about seems like to be gone, at least for the next morning. I don't know, but it's very important, like to have this like relationship, personal relationship, because as I see on my experience that not every day, not every week, not every month I have a inspirational mood that I can do that. But I know, like our Sangha, somebody has that sparkle, and he can share it with me and say, like, hey, come on, no, you cannot do this. Like we already planned it before, so come back. And you know, I can do that. I feel like I can do that, and I become a sparkle from them too.
You're definitely sparkling.
Yeah, actually Nadia is the one who leads the dancing Harinam, and she taught all of us. We had no clue how to dance. She did those beautiful garlands, and all this inspiration is from her. So, like, you cannot just disappear without dancing Harinam.
She's really like stuck on me. She will not let me disappear. I know that, and it's really good for me because. In some way, probably something in your life you better not to do if you don't have a mood. But in a spiritual life, it's always investment. If you do, you always have the results, a big results. If you push yourself a little bit. So, in your field, like your service, like what you can do, what you feel like you can do joyfully, as Giridhari Charan said, like what you can do joyfully. Because I'm looking at Divyangi and I feel like a little bit jealous that she distributes the books, and I'm like, how she does it? No, she has no fear at all. I do have, but I know that I can dance. I can do it easily. I'm not scared. I don't care what the people look at me, because not everybody was happy. Like I saw one guy today. I don't know, for some reason I just noticed him. Like he was like looking like that, and I feel like I don't care. Like if I come with him with a book and he will give me this reaction, probably I will get upset. But when I'm dancing, I'm not getting upset, you know. So it's very important to find like your spot that you can support the group with your service.
And I also wanted to just say thank you so much to both Vera and Hamsarupa Prabhu. I mean, both of you are leading huge initiatives, and there's so many pressures on your time, and both of you have, you know, I've heard you both say to Vaishesha Prabhu on several occasions, we're 100% behind this. But it's easy to say, I'm 100% behind this, and very understandably be extremely busy and not be able to show up physically. But to show up physically and be there on the ground, it speaks volumes. So thank you both so much.
Thank you to you, Vrindavani Vinodini, that you came today and that you supported with all like my emails, thousands of emails, and patiently answered.
We're leading it. So, thank you.
Vrindavan Vinodini Devi ki.
Sorry, Rani Devi ki.
His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu ki.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada.
Jai. Everyone ki jai.
Everyone ki jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnavana ki.
Is that it?
So if anybody does have any suggestions for what you really felt worked really well, or maybe now that you've had an experience, what you think might work better, please feel free to, you know, go to Kishori Rani, come to myself, Kaustubha Prabhu, or Divyangi, and we'll just, you know, it doesn't have to be now. You know, everybody is maybe a little bit tired. You might want to digest, but for the next one in November, we'd like to just keep improving, you know, and just like the spots. What are the best spots? That's a place of improvement. So there's so many things.
Well, there was that one suggestion that Mother Mahavokita made that the last Saturdays of the month are a lot of different sangha's in Queens and places like that. They have their programs where they would otherwise like to join in. So if it can be done not on the last Saturday, and next in November there's a big weekend. There's Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of people are out of town, so you might want to just see if either send out a doodle or something and get people's commitment. I think everybody wants to do it. Anyone who's been to one or
We could do it
wants
earlier.
to do it again.
Yeah, definitely, it's better to do it earlier than
So,
this
I mean,
time of the month.
We've
you know,
got
'cause
4 Saturdays, not that we want to, of course, we want to make it monthly. But November is a different month. Even if it's the first Saturday, it's still the next month. But, yeah, we just have to keep it, and the same thing with December. You know, will everybody be in town on that last Saturday of that month? And so we should just be flexible, but we should find out how we're doing. I'm ready to adjust my schedule. Just a suggestion.
yeah.
Right. Great suggestion.